Oyster farming will officially be open for business next week. And as Chris 6 News' Ashley Portillo reports tonight, it's an effort that has been nearly 3 years in the making.
The oysters sold here today at Water Street Oyster Bar have been shipped all the way from Louisiana, but once the oyster farming industry gets up and running, these customers here will be able to enjoy oysters grown right here in Texas.
Sustained oyster farming is the wave of the future. It's the way to go.
I think it's a really good idea. I'm a big fan of a renewable source of food.
And soon, these Water Street Oyster Bar customers will be indulging in Texas-grown oysters. It's thanks to a collaborative effort led by the Heart Research Institute, state representatives, and Water Street Oyster Bar owner Brad Lomax.
It's been almost 3 years that we've been working, realizing that Texas needed to get this industry rolling.
Until now, Texas was the only coastal state that didn't have an oyster farming industry regulated. But after legislation was passed last year, Texas Parks and Wildlife created rules and regulations for the new industry. And now those interested in farming can apply for a permit with the state agency. Lomax says the timing is just right because the oyster supply has dropped.
We had a major storm hit, just run right over the oyster beds in Louisiana. So already we're starting to see supplies tightening.
And now the world is Lomax's oyster. He has 3 areas in mind where he'd like to farm. The newly regulated industry will be the first new fishery in Texas in more than 100 years, raising the oyster bar for these coastal bend customers.
It's a wonderful idea and it's something I've looked at, and I think it's a great way to produce a very good food product.
It'll be about a year before those Texas-grown oysters are sold right here at Water Street Oyster Bar. Reporting in Corpus Christi, I'm Ashley Portillo, Chris 6 News.